Good evening, everyone. Atma Namaste, ChristianRLong, life enhancement consultant, giving you a big and beautiful shout out on this Wednesday evening. I think this is the first official day that my voice isn't completely bonkers and my energy level is getting back to normal. I'm not like depleted all day long, so that's been really, really good. Farella, what's up, girl? This has been one of the longest colds my body has had in years. So, it's good to finally be back. And you guys might be able to hear my next door neighbor on the phone, Cliff. She's always on the phone from early in the morning until late into the evening. She always sounds like she's putting deals together. Olga, Atma Namaste, I was just reading your newsletter. Very interesting. Whoa. Atma Namaste. So Olga ruined the surprise. Right below this video, guys, if you're watching this on Facebook, which I'm assuming you are, is the weekly newsletter. So every Wednesday night, an hour, 2 hours of my time, my blood, my sweat, my prana goes into the weekly newsletter. It's a quote from my teacher, Grandmaster Choa Koksui, and then my breakdown of the quote to help you guys get some nuggets, some spiritual nuggets, some material nuggets to move your life forward. The very same reason as to why we do these live streams each and every day. And the three topics we discuss or cover is energy healing, meditation, and practical spirituality. And tonight's topic is something that everyone's going to be interested in because we all want to get something in our lives. And you mean, what do you mean by get something in our lives? We all have a goal, a target, an objective, right? Some desire that needs fulfilled. Not on topic, but that's my favorite flavor of LaCroix. Really? The melon pomelo? Am I saying it right? Pomelo? Kind of a weird thing. My favorite one's the key lime. I've been rocking out the key lime pretty hard for the past few months, but I like to mix it up because I'm a man of variety. All right, I am saying it correctly. Perfect. So, we all have desires that we want fulfilled in our lives, right? And one of the biggest factors as to why we are not getting what we want in life is one simple word: clarity. Clarity, clarity. So, for instance, if I said to you, well, what's the most important thing for you right now? You would say something like, I want to be happy, or I want to be more fit, or I want to make more money, or I want to travel, or I want to fill in the blank with some desire or objective that you have. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, if I pushed you a little bit on that desire or target that you have, how much more could you answer connected to that desire or that target? Probably not much, right? So you're like, I want to travel. Well, okay, well, where do you want to travel? Well, I want to travel to, I don't know, someplace in Asia. So that's it, right? Zach, bring in the heat. This man is consistent and persistent, folks, on the streams. So you reach a point that you no longer have the answer and you no longer have the clarity. So if you're going to materialize a need, want, or desire in your life and you lack clarity, then what you are going to receive is one of two things. One, it's never going to happen. Or two, you're going to get something like it on a fuzzier level. So one day you might be traveling, right? Because your intention or your desire is to travel, and then you realize one day, hey, I'm traveling. But it's not really anywhere exotic. It's not anywhere that you chose to be. It's more you're having to do it because of work, for instance. So you're getting it, but you're not getting it because you lack the clarity. So I would encourage each and every one of you who are watching the live stream and watching the replay to look at your life and to look at Juri, Atma Namaste. Look at your life and look at what is going well in your life. look at the things that are not going so well in your life and ask yourself the question, are the things that are going well in my life because I have clarity? And are the things that are not going so well in my life, is it because I lack clarity? So some of you may have read my post, I think I did it 2 weeks ago, on how I had a very clear intention of gaining 20 pounds of lean body mass over 8 weeks and being at 12% or less body fat. Now, instead of it taking me 8 weeks to accomplish it, I accomplished it in 68 weeks. Big difference, right? But I had clarity as to what I wanted to accomplish. So every thought, word, and action that I did connected to my physical body, connecting to my sleep habits, my exercise habits, and my eating habits, was for the purpose of accomplishing that specific goal, that target, that objective. Alex is bringing the heat. Happy belated birthday, beautiful. Hope you're doing well. So I would encourage you guys to look at your life, examine in your life. I think it was, I want to say Socrates, but it might have been Aristotle. A life unexamined is a life not worth living. So you want to look at your life, and as soon as you start getting clarity with your health, with your relationships, with your money and your career, with your spiritual practice, you're going to notice a newfound sense of enthusiasm, inspiration, joy, and determination, all because you have clarity as to what you're looking to accomplish. And I think that's why a lot of people lose motivation, especially on the spiritual path, because they see it as something rote that they just do day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. Time to sit down and meditate, time to sit down and meditate, time to sit down and meditate. And they don't have clarity as to why they're doing their meditation practice to begin with, right? They don't have little milestones along the way of what they want to accomplish. So you're going, wait a minute, hold on, Christian, you're talking crazy talk right now. How can I have milestones for my spiritual practice? It's all energy, it's all ethereal, it's all non-physical. Ooh, it was Socrates. Thanks, Adam. You the man. I thought it was Aristotle, but I should have gone with my gut. Socrates. Okay? Where was I? I got completely off track there for a second. Hold on. Let me drink some LaCroix. Bring back my awareness. So the way that you gauge your progress on the spiritual path, unlike gauging the progress on the physical or health path, is how's my patience now from 6 months ago? How's my inner peace now from 6 months ago? You're fine, Adam. How is my mental clarity now from 6 months ago? And then if you really want to get technical, there's something in pranic healing, which is the energy healing modality I've been professionally practicing for almost 15 years. It's called scanning, where scanning means feeling subtle energies with the palm chakras and the fingertip chakras. You can scan your development every week, every month, every 6 months, every year, every decade that you've been practicing and go, my spiritual cord, which connects me to God, to the great ones, to my higher self, my spiritual cord a year ago was this big, and now it's this big. I'm making progress. You can feel your aura. You can feel your chakras, and you go, 6 months ago, my aura, my chakras were really heavy, were really dense, were really sticky, right? However you feel the energy. And you're like, now as I run my fingers through my aura and my chakras, it feels lighter. It feels more subtle. It feels more tingly, more powerful, right? So that's a way that you can gauge your spiritual progress and your spiritual development through scanning. And this all goes back to clarity. Clarity, clarity, clarity. So if the clarity is, I want to improve the size of my crown chakra, by 1 foot in the next 12 months or the next 5 years, every time you sit down and you meditate, you become aware of that, right? Or for instance, let's say you want to be more service orientated. You know, I want to give back to people. I want to help people. I want to be an instrument of goodwill and will to do good for other people. Well, what would that look like? Well, what if I did 3 hours working at a soup kitchen or a food bank once a week? Ta-da! You have clarity, right? But if everything is general, if everything is ethereal, it stays in the inner world and you never materialize it. Meaning, wouldn't it be nice to be 20 pounds lighter? Wouldn't it be nice to increase my bench press by 50 pounds? Wouldn't it be nice to have an extra $10,000 in the bank? Wouldn't it be nice to have more inner peace? But if you don't have clarity as to the things that are necessary that you have to do to move you in that direction, it never materializes. And I'll give you guys a big fat nugget, a big fat hint. No, I won't give it as a hint. I'll tell you outright. What determines something from being in the inner world, meaning the energy world, not physical, and physical, you know what connects the two? Something etheric, something energetic, something non-physical to something that's physical. You know what connects the two? A deadline. A deadline, a deadline, a deadline. Meaning, if there is no deadline, there's no materialization. You're like, well, wait a minute, how does that even make sense? Give you an example. Let's say you run into a friend on the street who you hadn't seen in years, somebody you went to college with, somebody you went to high school with, and you start talking with that person, you're chatting it up, you're sharing, you know, the good old days, etc., etc. And the conversation is over, and one person, you say to the other person, hey, let's get together sometime, and the other person says, that sounds great. I'll see you later. And you both walk away. No deadline. That meeting that person again never happens. A restaurant cannot function if there aren't opening hours and closing hours of when the cooks need to get there, when the staff needs to get there, the servers, the managers, when food delivery is made. Think about a construction. You're building something. You have a plot of land and you have an idea of building a multi-family apartment complex on that plot of land with no deadline for construction of clearing the land, digging the foundation, laying the foundation, framing the building, doing the plumbing and electrical work, doing the finishing. If there are no deadlines for any one of those things, guess what? The building never materializes. So deadlines are extremely important. Devanya, Atma Namaste. So deadlines are extremely important to take something from an idea, the inner world, the thought forms, and making it physical. The deadline is the bridge. No deadline, nothing materializes. How many times have you heard this? A couple, they love each other. They're committed to each other. The guy, in the traditional sense, proposes to the girl. Here's the ring. Let's get married, right? You ask the girl, if they're friends of yours, and you say, when are you guys getting married? We haven't picked a date yet. So guess what? No marriage. Do you see how everything, to materialize anything and everything, requires a deadline? No deadline, no materialization. So for tonight's talk, the topic, the takeaway for you is, if you want something in life, 1, you have to have clarity. 2, you have to have a deadline. Right? So you're like going from, I want to travel, to, I'm going to Bangkok, Thailand, September 5th, 2021. Bam. The likelihood of that materializing is much, much greater, which is kind of interesting when you think about it from a societal perspective. Why do we finish grade school? Why do we finish junior high? Why do we finish high school? And why do we finish college? And why do we get jobs? Because all of that has been pre-laid out with deadlines, milestones, deadlines, milestones, deadlines, milestones. But in our personal lives, guess what? No part of society is telling us how we need to show up, what deadlines we need to have, and what milestones we need to achieve. That's what being an entrepreneur is like, right? I don't know what to do. I have no milestones and I have no deadlines. I have to do everything for myself. I have to set my own life and set my own schedule. And many people aren't very good at doing that because they've been conditioned from being little tiny children all the way to being in their early to mid 20s, conditioned by society. Does that make sense? So again, to recap, clarity is super important to get what you want, right? There are many other factors. Number 2 is having a deadline to that clarity. And if you guys want to know where I'm actually getting this from, it's from a class that my teacher, Grandmaster Choa Koksui, the modern founder of pranic healing and Arhatic Yoga, developed, called Kriya Shakti. Kriya Shakti, which is basically how to materialize your needs, wants, and desires using energy. A very, very powerful class that enabled Master Choa to be very successful in business and very successful as a spiritual teacher. Again, that's Kriya Shakti. But in order to take that class, you need to take several other classes as setting the foundation of your understanding and experience to then qualify for that particular class. But in that, you will learn exactly the exact formula necessary to materialize your needs, wants, and desires. So, that being said, if you guys are in need of healing, or if you guys are in need of getting clarity in materializing your needs, wants, and desires, go to ChristianRLong.com/services, sign up for healing, 30 minutes of coaching, 30 minutes of healing, transform your life. Lynn, good to have you back on, as always. Hopefully you enjoy the live stream for tonight. Again, healing, coaching, ChristianRLong.com/services, and let me know how I can assist you in your transformational process. This is Christian R. Long, Life Enhancement Consultant. Have a beautiful Wednesday night, a beautiful week, and a beautiful life. Atma, namaste. Bye-bye.